to the Chandler's Channel. I'm Tracy with your intuitive seasonal forecast for the fall of 2014. So welcome for that, guys. So we've had two seasonal forecasts so far. We've had the spring 2014 and we've had the summer. And before we get into the fall 2014 forecast with Whitehawk, my consciously channel, I just want to touch back briefly on those two seasons because this is about cycles, right? And learning how to use the cycles to your benefit and how they have value. And it's really about learning to skate in the season you're meant to skate. And that is a saying of Whitehawks. So, the spring we learned that, to moderate our busyness because spring can be very, very busy with washing windows, getting patios ready, opening cottages, what else? Pools, you name it, it's there, right? We're coming out of hibernation and we're opening up, but we can easily burn ourselves out if we do too much. So that's what we learned in the spring forecast. And then in the summer, we learned about moderating our time out in the light, in the sun, because too much light is not good. Too much exposure can create depression, or the black, as Whitehawk referred to it in the summer one. So if you hadn't had a chance to listen to those two, please do. There's some great timeless lessons in that. And I apologize for my voice. It is very horsey. And that is why I'm chewing gum, because my voice would probably not exist if I didn't chew the gum to keep that moisture happening there. All right, so let's go get Whitehawk and see what he has to say regarding the fall 2014 season. Indeed, little ones. How have you been through this very tumultuous summer season? And I see everyone going, it was kind of crazy and lots to do and not enough time and don't feel like I had a summer and blah, blah, blah. Everyone's kind of going on as they talk. And Whitehawk's nodding up and down. And he says, yes, it was, wasn't it? It came and it went with a furor. And you're wondering, where did it go? Well, the good news is, kids, is that the fall season will not come and go in a furor as the summer did. But the fall will bring many, many surprises to you. For with the new winds blowing in, that will bring many changes within your life. Some you want, some you don't want. But all the same, changes. So if there's one word we can talk about for the fall 2014, it will be changes. And then I'm hearing the song, changes, na 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 na. And Whitehawk's laughing because, I love those little songs and singing them. It is indeed changes, and again, many for the good of mankind, but many because, it has to happen. So as you move through this fall 2014 season, do not ponder the change. Allow the change to come upon you, moving through it with love, light, health, and happiness, and know that it is through the change that you will arrive at a place that you are destined for. So move through it fluidly. Do not go against the grain, for if you go against the grain, then your fall 2014 perhaps will be very unfluid, unfavorable to you. But if you learn to go with the flow, regardless of whether you like it or not, then it will be easier for you to manage. And as Whitehawk was saying that, I noticed that JC arrived, Jesus, whom I call JC, because of his initials, Jesus Christ. And So I'm just noticing whether JC just wanted us to note that he's around or if he's arriving in the reading. And Whitehawk says he'll always take a moment to arrive in the reading if you allow him. And so up the path comes Jesus, and it's very important to pay attention to what he's wearing, because that kind of gives you an inkling of the Jesus it is. Is it the Jesus in the physical? Is it Jesus in the spiritual? And he comes up the path, and the only thing I'm really aware of is his sandals. I kind of get a sense of the burlap toga. I'm not really sure. It's not the white gown. So this might be JC in the physical when he lived here on Earth. And he says, yes, hi. He says, hello, everyone. I just wanted to take a moment to drop by and say I just want to take a moment and drop by and say how I have heard all your cries and your pleas and your prayers. And I just want to take a moment to say thank you ever so much to those of you who have opened up to me, who have in the past not. But through these readings and the wisdom of Whitehawk, you've decided to take a chance, to take a risk, to open up and say, hey, Jesus, are you there? Are you listening? For you always know, JC says, I am listening, and I have been listening. And so this is what I put forth to you, children. Now I ask you, in having done so and having opened yourself up to me in the realm, I ask you, has your life become better? Have you felt better, more importantly? Has your mind become more open? Have you been able to move through the ebbs and the flows of life more favorably, more easily, more understanding? That are the questions I ask you, and if you can answer yes to any of those, then you're most definitely on your way, children. So God bless you for doing that, children. I am always here, and I just want to say thank you with gratitude and emotion. God bless. And so he walks down the path again like he always does. He kind of comes for a visit, and then he walks and then he leaves. And Whitehawk says, yes, thank you, my friend. He says, he is my friend. He says, I adore that man, and that is why I come to you every day when I can, he says. So as you move through your fall 2014, he says, move fluidly and favorably, elsewise it will stagnate for you. God bless, children. God bless as you journey the waters of the fall 2014 season. It's always so nice when Jesus comes. Such a nice guy. I wish I was here when he lived. I could just imagine his energy would have been amazing. And I think that if he was here this day and age, again, he'd be a very grounded man and very gentle man and someone that you would want to be around. But I also believe that the way he would teach and the way he would go about his lessons and teachings to us and arrive in life would be very, very different, because we are not living back when he first arrived. The world is very different, and therefore I believe he'd have to take on a completely different way. Not necessarily in teaching, but just it would be different because we are different, and that just kind of goes with the whole outdated belief system. So think about that if you have a chance. Like if Jesus arrived here today, what would he be like? I mean, he certainly couldn't show up in sandals and a toga. That wouldn't work, right? No. And we all know he certainly wouldn't be crucified in the manner in which he was crucified back then if he was supposed to live the sort of same style of life that he lived in the past life. But certainly there are many of us who are crucified day in and day out in different ways, right, because of our beliefs. So just sort of let that sink in and see where that takes you. All right, I didn't expect that, but there you go. There is your fall 2014 forecast. And we'll see you back here on Thursday for our intuitive weekly reading for 20 towards the last couple of weeks of September. God bless. I'm Tracy for a Chandler's Channel.